Hey guys, David here. It's been a while since I've made a video and I wholeheartedly apologize. I have got a promotion at work as well as it was my grandson's birthday, as well as my youngest daughter graduated from high school. I've had a few things on my plate over the last month that has not made it very easy to find the time to do a review for you guys. So I figured I'd try and do one today. I'm not sure how this is going to work mounting the camera the way it is now, so I may take a look at this video and I may redo it. We'll see. Today we're taking a look at the Worksharp Precision Adjust Elite. The Precision Adjust is the middle of the road package in terms of what Worksharp offers. Worksharp, I'm going to rotate that way, maybe you guys can see that better. The Worksharp Precision Adjust Elite, what separates it from the base model is the base model only comes with one abrasive rod that has I think like a 320, maybe an 800 and a ceramic rod, as where the Elite has coarse grits, polishing grits, and a strop to like deburr and to get that nice shaving edge on your knife. The case that the Precision Adjust comes in is really nice, really great way to store the unit when you're not using it. This doesn't come with the standard Worksharp Adjust. You get a little convenient handle to carry it. I store it in this until I need it. It's been really super convenient. So the abrasives themselves will come on a tray, which mine seem to have moved a little bit during me moving things around. They snap on there, but I don't ever seem to have a good stable snap with them. Sometimes they come dislodged a little bit. If you happen to drop the case or whatever, they're not snapped in very well. But I like them attached to this as opposed to being loose. It's definitely a nice method for keeping everything organized. On the other side of the case, you have the base for the system, what they call the chassis, and the clamp. I'm going to show you guys how this thing goes together, and a little bit of explanation of how it works and what I think about it overall. So the system itself is these three pieces. How it goes together is really easy. The base itself will slide forward. The chassis will slide forward on the base, and then it'll snap down into the base, and then the clamp comes with a little cardboard insert, if you will. The insert is to keep the little rubber pads inside the jaws from sticking together during storage. So they recommend that you keep the little tab to keep the stuff from sticking together, but you can just loosen it up and it'll pop right out, of course. The jaws attached to the chassis using magnets, which I think is a beautiful thing. There's a lot of things on this system that are all attached with magnets, and it was a really smart idea from Worksharp. But to attach it just snaps right in. Another thing that snaps right in is those abrasives. The what I'm used to calling the stone arm is what they call a tribrasive, I guess, because there's three separate abrasives all on the same arm. They're all in a plastic housing, and that seems to be the general overall construction of everything here. Everything here is plastic, but plastic done well is not a bad thing. There's a lot of plastics in the industry out there that are robust and will take a beating, and it looks like Worksharp has used a plastic that is quite robust, otherwise they wouldn't have put it on said system. Things run smooth up and down, the ability to change things smooth. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. To snap the tribrasive into your system is done via magnet right there. So I'd like that, you know, you simply snap in the chassis, you snap in the clamp. They call it a V block, which is why I'm having a hard time on calling it a clamp out the gate, because everybody else calls it a clamp, but they want to be a little different and call it a V clamp, and I'll show you why. And then the magnet that holds the abrasive rod in place. All that is so simple to, you know, click together and get it ready. Really smart by Workshop to come up with a system that snaps together in a matter of moments. There's no elaborate setup, no nothing that not anything that's really labor intensive, you know, having to check your angles. And you know, sometimes it's like a lot of these systems are either hard to put together or you leave them put together because they are such a hassle on putting them together. But everything clicks together. Setting your angle is done via the knob at the top here. There is increments of 5 here on the left, as on the right will be increments in between those 5. And dialing it in is just a matter of moving the worm gear up until the spot that you want. And I'm usually at or around 20 degrees, so I'll usually leave it about there. You can use an angle cube on the device, on the sharpener. It is kind of tricky because you almost have to have the stone down here and put the angle cube somewhere in here. I have these rubber O-rings set so to limit the amount of travel that the stone has to keep it on the blade. But you can set the angle cube there to get your exact angle. They do make a rod that does have the angle cube built in, but this model doesn't come with that. Changing grits is as simple as just rotating the tribrasive here. There's the grits that come with it. There's a 220, a 320, and a 400, and the other ones that are on the card here are there's a 400, excuse me, a 600 and 800 ceramic, and then your strop. The clamp that I thought was a little odd is the V block, as they call it, this triangular cutout here in the clamp. A lot of other clamps, and I don't have one I could just grab at hand, but a lot of them are just, you know, open all the way to the rear here. With this having a V notch cut into it that chokes the clamp, you're preventing anything further from going into it. You're kind of restricted as to how you can place the blade in the clamp, because some funky shaped blades you have to angle the knife at a particular angle so that the entire bevel of the knife is in the range of the stone and stuff, to make sure that, you know, the arc, you know, your sweeping and your cutting is done perfectly. And I find issues with this. I don't like this clamp as much as others, but it's thought out enough in the point that, you know, it's got the rubber grips. It's super easy to just, you know, turn this all out like the KME in order to lock it down. I just find, you know, not being able to have really thick blades or blades that are unusually shaped that make positioning in the clamp difficult. Hey, hang on a second. I've got one I can use an example. Hang on. So, say like the Civivi Snex branded knife here. The problem was, like, if I wanted to get the edge sharpened, I almost have to have the spine of the knife like at a 45-degree angle in order to make sure that edge is sharp. So one side of the spine is up against that V block as far as I can get it, and the other one isn't. So like the V notch stops there, so it's like almost like all the way in on this side and like barely hanging on that side. So it's a little, a little bit of a finicky design. It's going to work fine for most of the folks out there, but there are some things that it's just not going to do real well. Rotating the clamp is done via a button in the back of the system. You depress the button, which forces this out of whatever lock is inside here, and then it's just a matter of rotating it. I do feel it's really stiff. I don't know if I have to put any kind of lubricant in my system, whether I'd rather use a graphite or something, because it is rather firm in its rotation as well as its press. It's not perfect, but as far as performance goes, yes, it's quirky, but it has a lot going for it. It's lightweight, it's easy to travel, will handle most knives that you put in the system. Adjusting the wrangle is super easy thanks to the worm gear and the measurements that are on the top of the chassis. In spite of it being lightweight, it is very stable thanks to a wide base, and when the chassis is clamped in there, as you can see, it's not going to go anywhere. Assembly and disassembly is real easy because of all the well-placed magnets. The grits, both the coarse grits as well as the polishing grits in the strop will get knives razor sharp. I have polished up many a blade on this, and I have been seriously impressed with the performance. The base version of the Worksharp Precision Adjust comes in at around $50. I believe the Elite comes in somewhere at around $100, $130, I think. And then there's a professional model above that. Offhand, I don't know the price to that one. But if you guys are interested in a very easy to carry system that's easy to operate, has a lot of cool functionality to it, that will keep stuff sharp for a long time, pick up the Worksharp Precision Adjust Elite. It's a mouthful. A side note I want to mention, the abrasives that are on this thing, they are held in place by an adhesive behind that plate. Originally I thought the plates were held on with magnets similar to how the field sharpener is, but they're not. There's an there's an adhesive pad up under this which just helps hold these diamond plates on. The plates are sold on Worksharp's website for a relatively inexpensive price. I want to say $10, $12 most per plate, and it's just a matter of just peeling off the old ones and resticking on the new ones, and you are ready to rock. So you know, a lot of these stones, especially when you start getting into some of these more expensive diamond plates, you're talking, you know, $40, $50 a piece minimum for a good, especially American-made diamond plate. Worksharp's been in the abrasives business for a while, so they definitely know what they're doing. There's a little bit of stiff action here on my rods here. I need to figure out a better lubricant. I guess that graphite will come into play, because some plain old regular lubricant just seems to gum things up a little bit. But anyways, if you guys are looking for a neat little system that won't break the bank, be sure to check out the Worksharp Precision Adjust Elite.